Good morning and welcome to the Gulf Coast. We are in a listing for Mary Phillips. She's one of the premier agents on the Gulf Coast. One of the places I wanted to start at the school. Anybody with kids, this is a great location. You just go right down here to the crossing guard and your kids are at school. So instead of you're good to go. All you have to do is cross them across the street and have a cup of coffee and everything's fine. Now, you may have lost me for a minute. That's going to be a bit of a problem as this goes on because we don't have our Wi-Fi out. We'll lose feed. We'll talk about that more later. But for right now, what we're going to do, we're going to meet Mary, and we're going to take a tour of the house. In the interest of full disclosure, I want you to know that this is my residence. It is for sale. This idea started out as an experiment for entrepreneurship, but now it's beyond an experiment. Now it's actually business as usual. I have 3 more clients waiting in line for exactly the same treatment, different professions. And we'll do different events and different giveaways, but just want you to know this is my house. I'm not playing any nefarious games here. So anyway, let's go in the house. First thing, I don't know why, but that's for some reason that's a good sell point. It's good curb appeal. Red doors hold very, very well in terms of curb appeal. I just thought I'd point that out. A little interesting real estate tidbit. So for now, what you're waiting for, this beautiful lady here.
Hi, I'm Mary Phillips with Keller Williams Realty. I want to welcome you to this absolutely beautiful home that we have here in Van Cleve. This is a house that I wanted to try and get everyone to see. It's just so much more of a house to me than I could just post on MLS or do an open house. It's something that I needed more. And this is what we're doing to try and promote this house because it has all the qualities I think that many people may not just be able to see from pictures. So a tour is what is in store here. This is a full tour, and some things that I want to point out as we walk into the house is one of my favorite features of the home, and one of the owners as well, is this beautiful, beautiful sun porch entry foyer. What I would love to utilize it as is early mornings or late evenings in here reading a book. It's a place to get away from it all. It's extremely bright. You have plenty of greenery out front. The birds are chirping. It's just beautiful. And this area is just something that you don't get in a lot of homes. As we walk through the house, I just kind of want to point out some special things about the house. You have a little step up as you go up here. And we'll
If it's okay with you, Mary?
Yes.
I had mentioned at the beginning of the feed, I'm trying to get this thing to turn around. There it is. That as people come online, they can ask questions.
Yes.
And that we would spend some time talking about real estate, the local market, the local area, give them tips about Gulf Coast, things like that. Is that okay?
That's great. That's very, very good.
This is where Lynette spends most of her time. This is the nicest room in the house. The house cools and heats very, very efficiently. And this is a nice, airy room, so she reads in that chair all the time. Okay, let's go on to the living room.
Okay. And as you walk into the living room, it's open. You have a dining area and you have an open living area. You'll see you have actually a cutout there that opens up into the sunroom. The hardwood floors are absolutely one of my special features that I love to talk about when I'm talking about this home. You just don't get these very often. The real hardwood, not laminate, and it's just a special bonus to this house. And you'll see if anybody has any questions at this time, I can take a break as we go through. If not, we'll continue to do the tour of the house.
Yep, just keep the questions coming. Our lovely producer is monitoring.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions, Lynette, just give us a shout if you want to.
And you can see this house actually, even in the videos and things that I've done with this house, you can't tell how big this area is. You have a full dining room table here.
Mhm.
They have 6 seats here at this table, plus you have a bar and a full armoire, so there's lots and lots of space. You
Okay.
could probably have 12 seating dining room table here without a problem. And a lot of my
Yeah, there is extra room
yeah,
on
a
both
lot of my
ends.
clients like a full dining room area, but it's also open.
Mhm.
Another good feature about the house too, and maybe you can show up, a lot of my clients like the knockdown ceilings. It's no popcorn. It's a big thing, I think, because it's a lot of requests I get with people. They don't want popcorn ceilings.
Don't want popcorn.
Right.
There's texture, but it's not popcorn.
Right, it's called a knockdown. As we walk into here, we have a full bath, completely remodeled.
Oh yeah, that's right. The remodeling here.
It's just
The
amazing.
previous owner did a studs out remodel in 2014. Everything in the house is new. That includes plumbing, wiring, AC, the whole Megillah.
And this actually could be utilized for so many different things. This room here, you have a closet here. You walk in and you have a full separate area that you could utilize as if you had a child and you wanted to have a nursery in here. If you wanted to have your own little separate office in here, it backs up to the beautiful, beautiful woods. This could be used for so many different. It could be a kid's bedroom and this be their playroom. There's just so many different options with this separation, but still within the same room.
Okay.
Another huge bonus. The windows are new. We got the
All the windows are new.
blinds on all the windows, which they would stay with the home, which is awesome,
Right.
awesome. Non-out-of-pocket expense for a new buyer. Some of the things that people do not think about when they're going to buy what they have to take care of, and that's blinds. Some kind of window coverings. Hi, baby. We got a little guest
So
here
that's
to
why the
join
door
us.
was shut.
We don't mind.
Hello, Silly.
Hi,
Hello,
Sally.
Silly.
This is a full bedroom here with a closet, and as you come through, this room has another extra bonus, which we have a lot of in this room. This could be opened up. You could use it as another little office area. You could use this as a kid's playroom. You could have it as your amazing closet if you wanted to put a dresser in here.
Actually,
So many-
one idea we had for this area, if we were going to stay right where you're standing, we were thinking about putting one of those sliding barn doors.
That'd be beautiful.
So no matter what you use that for, you could close it off and it'll look really snappy.
Yeah, that would look great. That's a great idea, and it's perfect for it.
Okay.
It's a very, very good sized room.
Your focus is jumping in and out for some reason. I'm going to get ahead of you here. Okay. Moving right along. Now we will, just as a reminder, anybody who's watching, in order to be eligible for the $300 giveaway, you have to hit the share button. We're now in Master Suite.
It's Grand Master. It's not just a master, it's a Grand Master. Do you know the dimensions of this room? It's quite large.
Well, if you include the walk-in closet, I believe it's 32 by 22.
Yeah, that's just, this is a master that my clients dream about, and you can't tell it by pictures. That's another reason why we're doing this video, is to get people to see what this house has in this beautiful location. 2 double closets here, in addition to what we're going to walk through.
Yeah, there's storage, and then you have some
storage.
storage. Yeah.
Nice ceiling height, ceramic tile floors, no mess. People with allergies, this is the dream house because we don't have a lot of carpeting. I don't think we have any carpeting.
We have no
we don't
carpeting.
Have any carpeting.
And it's great because we're warm 10 months a year.
And we have
So you
so
walk
many
barefoot,
allergy
it feels
people
great.
in this Gulf Coast. And so this house is something, and that's something I need to make sure I let everybody know there is no carpeting. But this is a great, great space here. This could be your master closet for the woman and be her own space. It's got the customs over here. However you wanted to set it up is great, but just the
Yeah, it's not
space
quite a
is
built-in,
here.
but that stays with
It's
the
not,
house.
yeah, it's not quite a built-in, but it is the custom cabinetry.
Yeah. Let's look at the master bath.
Hi, baby. Okay, we'll go through the master bath. This door actually leads to the outside. go up
Yeah,
there.
there's 3 exits.
3 exits, that's correct. Okay, this is the master bath. You got a full soaker tub, jacuzzi, stand-up shower, 2 double vanities, which we all know we all have to have in our master. And you
I
don't
see
always
that
get.
in renovations. They'll put in a massive countertop, just like this. And then they'll put 1 sink in.
Yeah.
Okay.
In their master.
It looked like we might have had a blink where we jumped in and out. If that's the case, you can just refresh. But again, we'll be answering questions later. We'll be talking about stuff. We'll be giving away some tchotchkes, and we'll be giving away $300 at the end of the presentation. And you have to hit share to be eligible for the $300. I'll give the tchotchkes to anybody.
Do we want to open?
Yeah, we can go out there. Yeah, Maggie, you stay.
Stay, Maggie. Okay,
Stay,
this is
doggy.
just one of the 3 entrance and exits, however you want to utilize it as we go inside here. Storage shed.
Now that storage shed, we can't go through it today or I'll drop my Wi-Fi. And I just dropped my Wi-Fi.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah. Did I drop out there?
I don't think,
Are we still there?
I don't know.
I thought you were watching. Are you watching?
Am I supposed to be watching it?
Are we online? Are we online?
I wasn't watching it. I thought I would get feedback if I was supposed to watch it.
Okay. Okay, we are. Good. Put the headphones on, babe. Sorry about that little technical error.
That happens all the time when we're doing stuff like this. We live and learn.
Yeah, we don't want to drop out. That's why we won't be doing the live feed of the shop. However, this is how we're going to do it. In the comments section of this feed, later it's going to be a post. And I'm going to post a full video of the outside and the shop. The shop is under renovation, but it'll give you an idea of the size and the versatility, what you can do with it. I'm sorry, Mary, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to complete the tour we're going to try and complete the tour with a little bit of quick shot in here. This is the laundry room. You have plenty of place for folding. You have everything you need. Hot water heater here with the pan. It's all set, all to code. Nice space here. What I love about this is you can have access to come in through the wet room. It's a mud room. We don't get a lot of those here. And when you have a yard like this, you want a mud room, laundry room, and your closet that goes into your master. It's just an amazing setup. Whoever designed this house thought about it.
Yeah, John did a great job.
I mean, it's ideal. It's ideal.
Yeah.
And we'll go up here to the steps, and we'll head into the kitchen. Here in our kitchen, we have a amazing chef's kitchen. It's a galley kitchen, but you have a lot of space in between, which for cooking and for entertaining, it's wonderful because you have a little eating kitchen and you're not far from the dining room. You have a window over the sink that faces the backyard, which I know all my clients love if they have kids. The wife can be in here, husband, wife, whoever's doing the cooking can see the kids out in the backyard playing. It's a dream setup. It's what all my clients want. They want a window, open, plenty of room, granite countertop, amazing cabinets, soft shut. We don't get that. I mean, in this price point, these cabinets, this granite countertop, stainless steel appliances, and the shop and the acreage, it all comes together.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. It's price point. There's so many extras that John tucked into this place. It's really cool.
And that's a key word here, tucked. I mean, we got this, pantry. It's tucked in here, but it's huge. It's bigger than most of the brand new custom home builds that I see.
Awesome.
Again, soft shut cabinets. All my clients want them. Gas stove for cooking for our
And
chefs.
the appliances are matching and high end, and they do convey.
Huge bonus.
The refrigerator is awesome. That freezer is amazing. It's huge. Okay, what we're going to do is join our lovely producer here. If you want to sit down, Mary, please.
Okay.
And do we have any questions up so far? Okay. Let me check this one thing here. Huh. Do. Where'd it go? There it is. Dunk. All right. Now, let's see. One of the things I wanted to talk about, because we're going to be talking to people who are local and people, let me see if I can get, that light is making a shadow.
Is it? Well, I can stand.
Okay, we're going to be talking to people who are local and people who are looking at the Gulf Coast area for the first time.
Okay.
If you give us a rundown, we can both talk about this, is what is available in the area, where we are located geographically, things like that.
I mean, this house, just this house, obviously we're located, it's the Van Cleve area. We're across the street from a school, which is a huge bonus to a lot of my clients. Here on the Gulf Coast, we have buyers that look near Ingalls, they look for the casinos, they look for near close proximity to the beach. The ideal thing with this home here is it fits all those needs. Here on the Gulf Coast, we're located in between Mobile to New Orleans, so we have a lot of different things here on the coast that really drive people to want to buy in Van Cleve, close to Ocean Springs, but not up in the city. People love just this house per se. It's just that we are so centrally located here that for the Gulf Coast, this is a prime real estate location.
And it's a no flood zone.
Right, and that's a key thing. A lot of the people want to be on the Gulf Coast and they worry about flood.
Sure.
And that we don't have to worry about here. We're in an X-flood zone, no flood insurance required. Of course, if you want to purchase it, it's about $360 a year. So that's a great thing to discuss.
Okay, keep that there.
Sorry.
You mentioned our geographical location in relation to all the other towns. One of the things I found, it's easy to get around. We're no more than 2 exits from anything significant.
Right, that's a great point.
We're about an hour and 40 from New Orleans.
New Orleans, yeah.
And about 40 minutes from Mobile. So that's awesome. I did mention in all my emails and advertisements that I was going to ask you about real estate in general. How did you come to be a real estate agent?
I came to be a real estate agent. I moved here about 20 years ago, and I started working part-time about 15 years ago at a little local real estate company, just because it was easy and convenient for me. I found extreme interest in it. They were a mom and pop real estate company, and they had built homes. They had started a company and ran it, and she was 68 years old at the time, my broker, and she's still working till this day. I chose to leave that company because I wanted a name like Keller Williams or Remax, or Ladder and Bloom. I ended up choosing Keller Williams because of the growth potential. If I wanted to move somewhere else, everybody knew about Keller Williams. So it's been about 18 years now total for me, and I would never have chosen another company. With Keller Williams, we're a growth company. We're about building teams. We're about getting everybody a little piece of the pie. It's not one out for one. It's training, teaching our new agents, bringing them on board. We want other agents that are knowledgeable to work with. We want other agents that can do what we do as agents that have been in it 15 years. We don't want them out there writing contracts wrong, misrepresenting, because generally you're on the buyer's or the seller's side with one of them, and you want to make sure that the people you're working with are knowledgeable, because it may get you as a seasoned agent in trouble if these agents don't know what they're doing. So that's a little bit about me. The market here right now on the Gulf Coast is on fire. It's probably the busiest I've seen it since Hurricane Katrina. And the only reason it was so busy during Hurricane Katrina because nobody had houses. So right now it's just interest rates are low. The market's hot. People are trying to get in before these interest rates, start to climb up as they're doing. And there's so much here. The casinos, the Stennis, we have, Ingalls. the casino industry is building more and more. We have the new aquarium coming, you know, the proximity, like as we were talking about
The
before.
aquarium.
Yeah, the Gulfport Aquarium's coming. They've broken ground for that.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
even know about that.
Mhm. It's going to be huge. It's down by the port.
Okay.
They released plans for it, and it's already, I think they're starting. And, you know, it's just, we got the MGM Stadium. I mean, you know, just so many things that are here now for families and for the growth of the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yeah, one of the things I found this out in a trivia question. We were playing trivia one night. The population of the entire state of Mississippi is smaller than Columbus, Ohio.
Really?
Yes.
Oh
And
my gosh.
so not only if someone were considering moving to an area with a low cost of living, good weather, plenty of options in terms of condos, houses, single family units, land, this is awesome. As a matter of fact, I think Mississippi, southern Mississippi, Gulf Coast generally, is the next takeoff point, the next explosion you're going to see, I think, in my opinion,
Oh, I agree.
for commerce and real estate and a place to raise your kid is going to be right in this area.
I've already seen it happening. I mean, I see them talk about Ocean Springs, downtown Ocean Springs, the Van Cleve area for the proximity of it to there, because you can have people have a little bit of space. They like, you know, it's growing here in the Gulf Coast, and it's something I see a trend of, is the people being more active, more fitness. We have so many running clubs, and so they like the hiking trails. They like, I mean, the kayaking we see. I mean, it's just, there's so many things happening here. It's crazy. And you're right. I think we're about to be, you know, the untold story here shortly.
Okay.
You know?
I asked you this earlier, and I'm wondering, the entrepreneurity is an idea of working with entrepreneurs, both as business to business, business to people, any kind of commercial venture. We're designed to work with that commercial venture and get them visibility, but also to inspire people who are thinking about a certain venture, one or another. Each of my guests will be addressing that. And you did mention that you'd be interested if somebody was looking for it in providing mentorship.
Absolutely. I think there's so much to be taught and learned. And there's so much in real estate that can be, I mean, you know, right now I'm at a shortage of having a marketing person. Mm-hmm. When you become an agent for so long, there's so many pieces of the pie that you need handled so you can actually focus on your clients. Because when you've been in the business this long, you're trying to deal with your clients that are repeat clients. Of course, you always want to get new clients, so you have marketing agents. You want to make sure that your emails are being checked, so you have an administrative assistant. You got to make sure that your contracts are done and in place, so you have an office manager. I mean, so being an agent isn't just being an agent anymore. It's a team. It's a team production. I mean, so there are so many things that people don't realize with real estate. What comes with it? It's not just being a real estate agent.
What would you call, if you could describe for me, because I know a lot of people think it's just, they really have a vision of standing at the front door while people tour a house, and then the people tour the house, then you go sign a contract if they like it. If you could give me a feel for what an average productive day is for a successful real estate agent.
Absolutely. And that can play out two ways. A productive day for me usually starts the day or two prior, because I'm a person of planning. So, like if somebody says, "Can I look tomorrow at houses?" You know, to me that's not so productive because I haven't researched the houses. I haven't made sure that, like we mentioned, flood zone. I make sure if somebody wants to see houses, make sure whether or not they know it's in a flood zone. So the day before my productive day is usually a day in the office, and that's a research day. I'm making sure the houses that they want to see are available. I'm making sure whether or not they're in a flood zone, what their insurance and taxes are going to be. I'm scheduling the appointments. I plan a route for where I'm going to meet my clients, whether I'm picking them up and they meet me, to where we're going to start, where we're going to end. That's a productive day for me. If I can get my clients that day, show them 8 to 12 houses, and from start to finish, it takes us about 3 to 4 hours. Some days we'll go to lunch with clients. Some days it's 3 or 4 days that we're touring. So that's a productive day for me in the day of showing homes. Then there's a day for listing homes. That's another productive day before. I mean, what I do when I'm listing a home is I research that property. I research what the comps are, what houses are in the area going for, price per square foot. I'll try and bounce it off some appraisers, make sure I'm accurate with what the numbers are in the MLS, which generally I am because I've been doing it so long. And then you prepare your package to meet with your listing clients. So that would be the day after. So generally my productive day always is a 2-step process.
One quick thing before I follow on that point is, if you're watching right now and you want to be eligible for the drawings at the end of the presentation, wins, you will be notified, and we'll make arrangements through private messaging for you to get your drawing, whatever that is. The last question I have is to me, is that if someone is interested in real estate, I've known a lot of people who got involved with real estate and then got uninvolved with real estate pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's one of those professions that if you do your due diligence, if you get all your ducks in a row, it can be very lucrative.
Yes.
But if you're the type of person who wants to take shortcuts or
Right.
says, well, I don't feel like doing that, how about I do this? You're not going to succeed.
Absolutely.
And that's why it would be good for anybody who's thinking about it. I think Mary is one of the best contacts you could make in terms of talking to someone who can tell you what it's like, give you a little bit of mentorship, and maybe even establish a mentor relationship. That's a professional thing. That would be between you and Mary. But it's something to think about. So if I don't see any questions popping right now, so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I will create a follow-on post. It'll be put in the comments section of this post. This live feed automatically becomes a post on Facebook. And I'll make sure that you get to see the outside of the house, get to see the shop. The shop is under renovation. So there's a lot of work being done, a lot of things torn up, but you'll get a good idea what you can do with it. The house has huge storage, as Mary pointed out. Everything's new. And I'm going to check one more time. If there's no more questions from Mary, she only has about 9,000 appointments left today. So we'll cut her loose.
One thing I wouldn't mind hopping on, just on
Yeah.
your last comment, is you made a good point about real estate. I kind of like to pair it with the fact that, like business owners, you got to give it a good 2 years. Like if you're starting a new clothing business, if you're starting a new workshop, anything, you got to be in it to win it for the first 2 years. Meaning, weekends, you don't have weekends. The first 5 years of my life in real estate, I never gave up a day for my client because I wanted to succeed. And that's where a lot of agents fail. If you're in it to you think you're going to make $500 this week if you go show a client one day, that isn't going to happen. You got to be in it to win it. First 5 years, you got to devote your life to it, and then you will succeed. So that's what I like to get out there to other agents and clients too. If you have an agent and you choose that agent, stick with them, give them a chance, because it's real hard work. It's not just showing houses.
Okay, that's excellent advice. Wow, I just jumped track. I was going to say something. Oh yeah, you have listings from 1-bedroom apartment, 1-bedroom condos, all the way up to high-end stuff, right?
Yeah,
Well, what I'm going to propose is, from time to time, we get together and we do this again.
I'd love to.
It's a chance for people to learn a little bit about real estate, to see what's out here, what's available, to meet you.
Yeah.
Mary is really a strong leading agent in the area, and we'll get together. We'll do this maybe, well, when we feel like it. When Mary and I get together, say it's a good time. We'll go down. We'll see one of her listings, and we'll tour it, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. So that's it for now. I believe you can hit off on there.